Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this webinar. I'm gonna share my screen and I will start. So for today, we are going to be reviewing the topic regarding the Microsoft portals. The idea is that we are going to be covering the main topics of this functionality. At the beginning, we are going to be doing like a small introduction. Then we are going to be explaining the provision and processes. And after that, we are going to be just explaining the general functionality and how to administrate a portal directly from CRM. Basically, this is the agenda for the webinar today. As an introduction, PowerApps offers the possibility of enable portals for external users. As probably some of you know, PowerApps include this functionality in a previous version. Now Microsoft is changing that to Power Pages. So today I'm going to be explaining you how to use both functionality, but at the end it's going to be the same. I mean, it's going to be the same functionality, but just using two different ways. The first one is going to be how to provisioning using Power Apps. So the step to go there is just go directly to makepowerup.com, go directly to the environment that you want to work, and then you could just click here on create. Okay, and you could go to apps, and here you could go directly to website. That's the way to do it using Power Apps. Previously, you could just go here to create, and here Microsoft had available self-service portal, but as soon as Microsoft released the Power Pages functionality, this option disappeared from here. So you cannot provision in the portal directly from here. If you want to do it using My Power App, you need to go to apps, you need to go to website, and as soon as you click there, the system is going to show you the functionality to provision the portal. Okay, so this is the first way to provision. Okay. The second way to provision a portal is go directly to the new functionality. The new functionality is going to make Power Pages. This is the new one that is basically like a different portal that you're going to be using to provision your Microsoft portal. So the Power Pages functionality is like a management system to administrate all your portal. So when you just arrive here, you're going to be able to just get started, and you will start with a like a wizard. So you could just click here, and you are going to select the layout, or you're going to select the template that you are going to be using for this. Okay. So you could define here if it's going to be schedule, if it's going to be layout, if it's going to be registration. And as soon as you define a template, you just need to click next, and it's going to be like a configuration wizard. The functionality at the end is going to provision the same thing that we are provisioning at the moment using Portal. So basically, this is the new scheme for the Microsoft Portal functionality. Okay. So just came here to the Power Pages and configure the portal here. Okay, now we are going to review a couple of general functionalities. Just let's enter to an existing portal. Let me enter to this portal. For example, this is the Optimus portal. As you can see here, this is going to be, just give me a second. Okay, so here in this portal, as soon as you arrive to this portal, you are going to see the unauthenticate section. It's going to have the menu that is available for all people as soon as you got the authentication. You're going to have the search bar that is going to allow you to search in the knowledge base article. It's going to show you the most popular articles, and it's going to show you this is the traditional template of the portal. Okay. Okay, so in this portal, you're going to see all the unauthenticated functionalities, and this is the regular or the template that you are going to receive as soon as you deploy the portal. But after that, you are going to be doing the registration process. So what's the registration process? You just need to click on sign in, and here is going to be the register functionality. All of these functionalities are going to be functionalities that the provision is going to do automatically. So as soon as you click on register, you could just include an email, include a user, include a password. And as soon as you register that, the CRM, I mean, the portal is going to create you on the CRM directly as a contact. And after that, you are going to be able to sign in. Okay, so as soon as you create this, that basically is include the email, user, password, and confirm your password. You could click here in sign in, and you could just enter with the password that you just generate. And as soon as you enter, you are going to have as soon as you enter, you are going to be in the profile. The first time that you enter to the portal is going to transfer you to this functionality that is going to be the profile. The idea of the profile is that you should be able to configure your first name, you should configure your last name, email, and all the fields that you configure in the profile section. And after that, you just need to update the information. For example, here, let me just modify my profile. Does this change? And it's going to be this one, for example, and I just need to update, and the information is going to be updated directly in this CRM. Okay, so the way to update the information is just modify the profile, and that's it. Okay, so you need to register by yourself, you need to authenticate, and as soon as you enter, the out-of-the-box functionality is going to show you a couple of functionalities by default. The functionalities that you're going to see by default is going to be the knowledge-based article search, that is going to be this section. It's going to allow you to see the forum, that is a functionality that allows you to interact with other users. And it's going to have a menu with knowledge base here. If you have articles, you're going to see the article here and going to be able to search. The other functionality that is going to be out of the box is going to be my cases. By default, the CRM is going to include the functionality of review the cases that you have created in the CRM, and it's going to allow you to create new cases if you want it. This functionality is going to be out of the box. You don't need to customize that, but there are a group of functionalities that you could configure as well. Like for example, in our portal, we configure here these functionalities, like an option to view details, an option to include comments, an option to reopen case, or an option to see the logs of the case. So all of these functionalities are custom functionalities that you could include directly in the portal. Or if you want, you could just create a case. The fields that are going to appear here are going to be the fields that you have in your form directly in CRM. So like, for example, in our case, we are going to have the title. The case is going to be generated the case number automatically. It's going to show you the customer that is going to be the account that is related to your contact. It's going to have a category or subcategory. Those are functionalities. Those are fields that are custom in our CRM. But basically, what I want to just show you here is that it's going to show you the same information that you have in the CRM in terms of fields. Okay, by default, the CRM is going to include the functionality of search cases or create cases, and it's going to include the knowledge-based functionality. The other functionalities that we have here, like my projects, because we have the project model included in the CRM, so we have everything integrated. And we have functionality to review the tasks that you are just creating for the external users in the CRM. Additionally, we include a dashboard functionality that is a custom functionality. This is not out of the box. You have to customize that, but it's something that you could include as well. Okay. So the portal or the Power Page by default is going to create by default the user registration processes. Is going to create the authentication processes by default. Is going to include all these functionalities by default. Those are the functionalities that are going to be by default. But after that, you could include all the functionalities that you want. Okay, basically, this is the way to build a portal. And now I'm going to show you a little bit more about how to administrate a portal. So if you want to administrate a portal, you need to enter to the CRM in this case, like for example, well, I'm going to enter directly here. This is our CRM. And here you need to go to portal administrator. That is this functionality, portal management, websites. So here in the portal management administrator, you are going to have all the administrative functionalities of the portal. Like for example, if I want to enter to customer self-service, I'm gonna see here on the website the URL of the portal. You're going to see the language. You're going to see all the additional configuration. Let me just authenticate it. Okay, so it's going to allow you to configure the header template, the supported languages, and all the configuration regarding the portal. By default, when you provision the portal, everything, I mean, all of these functionalities are going to be, all of this configuration is going to be there. You just need to start configuring according to your needs. Okay, so by default, the CRM is going to include a bunch of functionalities here, a bunch of configuration. But if you want to modify the page for email label or the page title of some other page, you need to come here and modify the section. Okay, it's going to show you here the site settings configuration that are going to be a bunch of variables that you could configure to modify the behavior of your portal. Okay, so all this configuration is going to be configuration that is going to be by default as soon as you provision the thing, as soon as you provision the portal. Okay, the idea here is that you need to start working on basic forms. If you want to, for example, create a section to create, for example, this one, all of these OPT forms that we create here are going to be forms to create a case, form to edit a case, form to all the forms that we need should be here and should require the mode that we want. For example, for create, you need to define that it's going to be insert, the edit is going to be edit, and all the information that you just want to present as read-only should be read-only mode. Okay, so if I enter to this form, for example, you are going to see the general information of the form and all the configuration regarding the fields and the security sections and all the things that you need to configure in there. Okay, so basically here you are defining the form that you want to use. And additionally, it's going to be the configuration regarding to that. After that, we could configure if you want to add a CAPTCHA, if you want to double authentication factor or something like that, we could define it here. If you want to use a view, you need to enter to list. Okay, so on the list, you are going to be configuring the views that you are going to be using in your portal. So it means that you could have in your internal CRM a view, but for example, if you want a specific view, you need to define a list here. And after that, just relate that list to a traditional view and do the configuration directly from here. If you want to include some JavaScript or something like that, you could come here to an options and define some additional JavaScript regarding to this list. Okay. After that, you're going to have the contact. Contact is probably the one of the forms that is most important in the portal functionality because it's going to allow you to configure all the people that you have in your system. Like for example, let me try to search myself. Probably. Okay, so this one is going to be my contact. And here you're going to have all information regarding the person. You're going to have the company that is related to that person. Why is important to relate the person to the company? Because if you configure multiple people in the same company, every time that these people enter to the portal, is going to be enabled to see all the cases that they are creating regarding the company. So if you have multiple people, if you want to show them all the cases at the same time, you need to relate them to the same company. Additionally, you need to configure the web authentication. In the web authentication, you are going to define what's the user that the person is going to be using to enter to the portal. That user is something that is going to be defined at the moment of the registration. So if you remember here, for example, if I sign out and if you enter to the register, the username that you define here is going to be the login. Okay, so the login is the username that you are going to be using here. You need to define that it's going to be login enabled, and after that, that person is going to be ready to start. However, it's not going to be enabled to see the information until you add a web role. Okay, so the person must have at least one web role, should be authenticated user or administrator as required, but the general ones are going to be authenticated users. So it means that as soon as they enter to the system, are going to see all the information that is available for the authenticated users. Okay, so that's pretty important because you have the information of the people, and additionally, you need to define what's the credential that they are going to be using. Until here, you define the user, and if you want, you could just create an invitation. That is an email that the system is going to send to that person to enable them have to make the access available. But if you want to change the password directly, you could do it. You could just come here and just modify the password, and the system is going to modify the password immediately. So that's a way to correct the password if you require, for example. Okay. So the web pages, as I mentioned, is the new functionality to use the portals. This is pretty new, at least, I mean, probably a couple of months, but at the end, it's going to be the same functionality that you previously have in the portal. This is, I mean, these have a lot of functionalities here. Should be basically like a whole training program to define or to review these functionalities in detail. The idea with this is enable you or give you the information to how to provision it, where to provision it, and after that, if you want to do it by yourself, you could come here. In this environment, you could enter, you could create your own trials, and you could provision in your own portal. The idea is try it by yourself, and after that, start reviewing all the functionalities that we have here. I'm not going to explain all the functionalities here, of course, because basically it should be like a whole training program to review that. But I just mentioned the functionalities that I consider are most important ones: the websites functionality, the page template functionality, the basic forms, and the list forms. This is the minimum things that you need to keep in mind or that you need to know to start working with portals. Okay. So my invitation today is just try to enter to this site and try to validate by yourself, try to test, and try to review these functionalities on detail. And not probably some of you were thinking that the session will be more on detail, but we want to do at the beginning this one that is going to be the simple one or the like the novice one. And the idea is that later we're going to be doing one intermediate and after that probably one advanced. But just to start, that's the explanation that we want to share with you today. Okay, if you have any question or you want to receive the material or if you want to have probably a session to review some specific need on the tape, just let me know. Sorry, we just changed this yesterday. So this is my email. So if you have any question or something like that, just let me know. And I will be sending you the material if you require. Okay. Thanks a lot for your time. And I hope you see you in your next session. Thank you.